Let's talk about whisper register. Heavy on the hand quotes because, spoiler alert, it's not really a whisper. So, I'm thinking of you. We typically think of Mariah Carey. I find that this term is used most predominantly by the fan base of the legendary song Just by the Lambs, but it's also attributed to singers who've been influenced by Mariah Carey, like Ariana Grande. One last time, I promise after that. I don't know the words. And also fellow legends like Luther Vandross. Anyone who had a heart would take me in her arms and love me too. Anyone who had a heart. I love his rendition of that song. That's why I demonstrated so much. Not as well as any of these people. Not claiming to be Mariah, not claiming to be Ariana, not claiming to be Luther. This is the internet, so you have to make that disclaimer. Let's cut to the chase. I'd give my all. I'd give my all. Not the same, right? That's because a whisper, an actual real deal whisper, the chords are stiff and they don't vibrate, and you're hearing well, the chords are really more like this, but the chords are tense, they don't vibrate, and you're hearing turbulent air move through the folds. That's what's giving you the sound. When you're hearing Mariah or Luther or Shantae Moore, the R&B star Shantae Moore, it's alright, everything alright. When you're hearing these sounds, and it's so half-assed, sorry, you're hearing a coordination where the vocal cords are vibrating, but they're lengthened and loosened. So the reason why you hear a similarity is because there's excess breath flow. Typically, when all the aforementioned singers are making these sounds, they're in either a head voice or a head D coordination. So in that case, the chords are already lengthened. There's a natural kind of phonatory gap that tends to form for most singers as we get there, like ah. So when we're in head voice, ah, I've already got more loose air, and then if I loosen it even more, lost without you, can't help myself, how does it feel? Not a whisper, true whisper, because that would be lost without you, can't help myself. But what you're noticing is that both involve a lot of aspiration. They're both highly aspirated. There's a lot of breath coming through. Also, this is part of the reason why it's so impressive when a singer can do it live. Some of you have seen videos of mine in the past where I talk about the head voice paradox. You can add the whisper voice paradox as well, because people think it's easy. Because in a studio, you can get this close to the microphone and you can get this close. Live, it's really hard to control. Why? Because your vocal cords are a natural part of the breath control mechanism of your vocal instrument. It's really easier to when we fully adduct the folds, when we get good chord closure, when we get a clean onset, the breath control is so much easier. But when we get I'm compromising my chord closure for that tone, which means that I have to be extra strong body-wise, diaphragmatically. I have to be extra well coordinated, extra highly skilled, because it is harder to control that tone. So it's interesting because it's like easy to produce that tone, hard to control that tone. So anyway, that's why it's part of the reason why it's so impressive when singers like Mariah are able to do that and also move back and forth between and into a more dense belt. Pretend that was like a Mariah-esque belt. I'm a bass baritone. It's not gonna come out my mouth the way it comes out of Mariah's mouth, but you get the idea. So with that being said, a real whisper, the chords are stiff and you're hearing mainly turbulent air. You're not getting a real vibration. The chords are abducted. They're not really even touching. When you're doing a whisper register thing, I give my all. The chords are vibrating, but they're loosened and lengthened. What they both have in common is that they're both highly aspirated. That's why a whisper register, that highly aspirated heady tone, that can really be anywhere in the voice, it's reminiscent of a whisper, but it's not a real whisper.